Hello, humans of the planet Earth. I am Spidnor from the planet New Orleans, and I am here to talk about human discovery. During our conquest of the great universe, we have uncovered many a thing. For instance, humans, unlike our own species, contain a part of them within called skeletons. We lack skeletons, but I thought it would be interesting to discuss them today in the form of a tier list video, which seems to be popular on the internet. We shall be discussing different tiers of skeleton classes. There are multiple rules regarding the skeleton tier list. Number 1, no fakers, no pretendo skeletons. Rule number 2 is that the skeletons must have existed before time itself. No crustaceans allowed in this list. Number 3, anything that you may say in the comments down below will be wrong.
Alright guys, that was just a bit of a meme for the Halloween. You feeling the spirit in here? Look at these things. I actually bought gloves and they were meant for a child, so I just decided it would be funnier to to cut off the fingers individually. Did you guys like that gag? Did it run a little too long? No, it was perfect, right? So I think we're all wondering the same thing. What's the first skeleton I should rank? I'm thinking Mr. Bones from the classic Sega Saturn video game. Mr. Bones is an iconic character. Unfortunately, he was left in the landslide. He didn't get picked up. I don't know why. This guy's lovable. He's quirky, he's charming, he plays music. I think S tier, Mr. Bones, obviously. He's pretty great. Honestly, I'm being genuinely serious when I say I want a new Mr. Bones game because I really like the original. I never played it, but I would have loved it as a kid. Now we started off with the king, now we gotta talk about the queen. And I think you know exactly who I'm talking about. Jack Skellington is an iconic character for sure. But no one's even watched Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm not gonna sit there and watch your creepy-ass animated movie. It looks gross. It doesn't look appealing to the eye. When I think of Disney, I think of Oliver's Company and Cheshire Cat. I don't think of this bullshit. We're putting Jack Skellington, more like Jack Effington, down in F tier, you piece of shit. The gif of the dancing skeleton, I don't care who you are, that thing's going straight in B tier for bone. Come on. It's just self-explanatory. I don't make the rules here. We gotta talk about Mr. Skeleton God himself. The buffest, the strongest skeleton around. Skeletor. He's like, yes! Hey man, I grabbed you by the ball. Are you still watching? Get out of here. Go on, shut the door. Don't let the door hit you on your way out there, bud. Skeletor, E tier for Skeletor. For the E in Skeletor. Alright, Tales from the Crypt. Tales of the Crypt doesn't count. He's not a skeleton. He's not real. He's not a skeleton. Why the frick did Thatch send me this asshole? D tier for Dickhole. The Minecraft skeleton. You guys, to be honest, I don't know about this. I don't know if I can include him. He's not quite a real skeleton. In Minecraft, I always used to be really scared of these guys because I would go mining and then they would shoot their little arrows from 1,400 feet away. And it sucked. It was not fun. It was a bad time. Thinking C tier. I'm leaning towards a C tier Minecraft skeleton. But he looks about a C tier. I have some controversial opinions about Thatch's personal skeleton collection. Thatch, I think it's a bit too much. I don't appreciate you hoarding corpses, especially of my children. Not very cool. Shelby's alright. Not as cool as I think Shelby could be. That's why Shelby's getting an S tier. Shelby's awesome. I love Shelby. But then we get on to Bone. First of all, you can't call a skeleton Bone. That's that's like calling a human hand. That's like calling a human foot or head So I don't like this at all. Bone gives off to me like energy. Yeah, I don't think this man is to be trusted. F tier for his evil incarnations. The two skeleton brothers from Chronicles of Darkness. What do I think of them? They're derivative. The jokes are all the same. E tier for low effort. But what about Skelly and Bones from Clutch Powers? Y'all know I gotta put them on the list. S tier. Easy S tier. The skeletons from Golden Axe, I'm putting them about an A tier. I think they're pretty good. I like how they go when they die, and it's pretty good. I like that 16-bit era where skeletons were enemies. You don't see, skeletons in Dark Souls? Alright, skeletons from Dark Souls, you guys are an F tier. What? It's totally not a new day because I just forgot to talk about half the skeletons and just was like, yep, that's done, wrap filming. I totally don't have an entire list here that I completely forgot about, and now we are currently recording. Now how could I forget the iconic duo of the two brothers Kin from the game series Undertale and Deltarune, Sans, and Papyrus? I'll be honest, I don't know how I forgot these guys. I have no idea. They're staples in video game history. One problem. Sans is very unskeleton-esque. He doesn't really have a skeleton face, and he's quite beefy for a skeleton. I think an E tier would fit him best. I don't know, I'm not really comfortable with giving him anything else but an E tier. Papyrus, on the other hand, what are you kidding me? He's the perfect skeleton material. Everything from his demeanor, to his voice, to his physicality. That's the type of skeleton I want in my lore. I think A. I really do think A. Smidge a little bit from an S tier. Not quite S tier, but A tier for sure. You know I gotta talk about Brook from the show One Piece. And I'll be honest, I quite like Brook. I think he's one of the best characters in this show. He's a little crass, but he's not a pervert. He always gets shit. People constantly throw him under the bus, I don't know why. He's got cool, epic powers. He's funny, he plays music. He's one of the most iconic skeletons in media. It's a shame because he's so amazing, I gotta put him in D tier where he truly belongs. This is gonna be a bit of a deep cut character, but back in the day, me and Cam used to play Lego games with our little Lego men. And one of the characters that we introduced was, I didn't watch One Piece at the time, but I knew the very minimal basics of the character. We had a skeleton minifigure named Brook. And his whole thing is that he liked to sing, and he was just a little skeleton minifigure, and he'd always come in and go, "Ay-yo!" That was his whole character. I mean, for this character that no one knows and no one has any attachment to, I think he belongs in S tier. Sir Daniel Fortescue is a character I shouldn't have forgot about. He is the best skeleton in gaming. He's got one eyeball, knight armor, and he doesn't even talk. He just goes... Great. Absolutely great. This is the pinnacle of what skeleton content should be. So it's a shame I have to give him a C, but C for... Coulda tried harder, Danny. Coulda tried harder. Bone Jangles, I have no attachment towards this character. He's from the Corpse Bride. I've never seen Corpse Bride. D tier for Danny Elfman. Y'all know my opinions on Mario content, especially Mario. I love Mario so much, and I need to talk about Dry Bones. These POCs, they really piss me off. You break them, and then they go, boo! And then all of a sudden, they're like, boo! It is infuriating every time they do that. It pisses me off. B tier for Dry Bones. The ultimate question of the day is now, can I really include Red Skull? Because to me, he is much more like someone like the Crypt Keeper than he is a true pure skeleton. If he was a literal red skeleton running around on screen fighting Captain America, we'd be golden. But because he is pretty much just a man with a red face, the name's a bit off, the character's a bit lacking. Red Skull? More like Red Shull. Put that mofo in D tier, why don't you? I gotta take it back a little bit. I gotta realize where I am at in my skeleton headspace. I can't just throw shit out there. A very iconic group of skeletons would have to be the Skeleton Army from Jason and the Argonauts. These guys are iconic. These guys are classic. Hell, I think this is even where Golden Axe got their idea for a skeleton army. So you can't knock them. S tier. I mean, get with the program already. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a controversial opinion, but we're talking about Death from Family Guy, who is voiced by Norm Macdonald, rest in peace. This guy sucks. He's so bad at his job, and he just sits around, he's very lazy, and for a person who's supposed to claim someone every 1 second, he's pretty damn lazy. It's hard to give this guy anything higher than an F tier, so he's landing right in F tier, unfortunately.
Bonus skeleton!
Out am I?
And last but not least, my skeleton. It is obviously the shell that holds this mush of a man together, and I can't discount it. I was born a beautiful boy. I have the perfect genes, I have perfect genetics, perfect hygiene, perfect brain. I think twice as fast than normal humans. I'm not gonna give my skeleton an S tier because I feel like that's a little too high. I don't have God's skeleton or whatever. I think A is pretty reasonable for my skeleton, so I have to thank God for that. If I'm correct, I think we've covered most of the skeletons in fictional media. If you care to throw any other skeletons in the list, feel free to let me know. I'll rank them at some point. Shoot me an email. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. Hit me up on MySpace. You can send me a message, man. I'll hit you up. You'll hit me up with skeleton lore. That's gonna call it for the skeleton tier list. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a spooky month of October. It's all right with me, bro. And now for a dance.